really, really cool. This is Whiteboard FI. And whiteboard.fi is, not only is it free, but there is no login necessary. I just went straight to the website right here. And as a teacher, I'm going to go ahead and create a new class. And if you'll just bear with me for just a second here, because it's going to show you a link, and I'll copy that link and put it in the chat, and then everybody can join. And hopefully everybody will be able to have a board. We've never tried as big a group as this, but we're going to give it a shot today. So I'm going to go ahead and type my name in here, Mrs. Daniel, okay? And these settings are new. These came up about 2 weeks ago or so. And so now we have enable a waiting room, which means that if, a lot of times, if somebody gets a link, they just jump right in, just like with some of our Google Meets. But if they're outside the district, of course, we get them that where we have to let them in if we want to. Well, now we can have a waiting room where we enable that for all of our kids. So we go, okay, there's Alyssa, there's Eric, there's Alex, and then we can let them in one at a time if that's something that you wish to do. You can also enable students to upload images. Now, this is your call. I know there's always a fear about images and kids, and I'm going to say that probably 99% of the time, kids are going to upload something that is appropriate. And this would be really great, like if they did like a Google Draw that they downloaded, and you want to see that on the whiteboard. So there's some really good uses to this one as well. And again, that's your choice. And you can force the simple mode for students. And this is like if you've got a low end device or your connection isn't so great. And that same thing for the slow mode. And those kind of work in tandem. Like if your network, because sometimes our networks aren't all the super fast speeds. It depends on what your plan is that you have at your home. And and some of our kids may not have those high speed networks. And so this will help with those networks for your students. I'm just going to leave all of these unchecked, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new class. All right, and all it's doing is it's just going to create this classroom for me. And here is my my link for my classroom. I'm going to put this in the chat in just a second, but I want to talk about this room that I've just created. This room will stay open for 2 hours. So if I'm looking to put this into like a Google Classroom, I want to make sure that I put it in when my kids are in the Google Classroom or when they can actually see the link. So again, this might be something that you want to use just with like a Google Meet, or if you're in the classroom and you have the Google Meet going on in the classroom, this might be how you would use it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to the Meet over here, and I'm going to just pop it into the chat right down here. There we go. And that way, if you'd like to join my class, you are more than welcome to. And I'm just going to keep this open here so you can see what I see as the teacher.
And okay. I'll continue to post that link. I'm going to copy it.
Okay, I see Sophia. Wow, I feel like I'm on Romper Room. Here we go. And I just totally dated myself, because there's probably people out there who have no idea what Romper Room is. I'm sure.
I'm right there.
But you're going to see, first of all, it's putting them in alphabetical order. I don't know if you can see this, but they're all in alphabetical order, right? And everybody's names are on them, and it looks like it's going to be pulling in just about everybody. We're just testing this right now, so like I said, I'm hoping we don't break it, but I wanted to see what the limit was on the number of students we can put in there. I'm guessing it's probably going to be right around 100, but I'm not sure. So all of my whiteboards are in here, so I can see all of my kids' whiteboards. All of my students, which is all of you wonderful people. So if you click on your whiteboard, of course, you have the ability to draw. And I'm going to go ahead and go to my whiteboard just so I can show you what some of these tools can do. Okay, it's very simple, or I should say it's very complex, right? It's like a pencil and an eraser and some shapes. So here's my pencil, so I can just start to free drawing right here. I can make my little face, whatever. Okay, there's my smile. Now, if I want to erase, then I can actually erase bits and pieces, which is nice. I'm not erasing an entire line, because sometimes some of the whiteboard applications that are online, if you create a line, it erases that whole entire line. And some people, they like that, and other people, it's like, no, I just wanted just a small part of it. I didn't want this one little part. you know, I like right here, I'm just going to erase that little part right there, but I didn't want the whole line gone, right? So you can do that. I can also just go up here to the settings and I can actually clear my board just right away. I can just empty out my board. Or I can also empty out everybody else's boards. I can add text. I can add straight lines and arrows. So if I were to upload a picture, I could actually, maybe I could label it. Maybe it's a picture of a sea jelly and we're labeling the tentacles and the bell and the Medusa, right? We can do that. We can also add different shapes, as you can see. And then, of course, insert an image. And then we can even insert a background image, okay? That's a pretty nice little tool that I can do. So I'm going to go back to my class and I'm going to see if anybody is drawing. And here I see a hi. So, you know, it's going to take me a little bit probably for it to load because we have so many people in here. I wouldn't think we would have, you know, whatever, 65 people in a classroom. At
70.
Oh my goodness, 76. Wow. Wow. At one time. But as you can see, as I'm scrolling down here, it's resetting itself. I'm able to see, and somebody's adding some color in there. That's wonderful. I can see all of the things that you are doing as the teacher, right? And I can go back to my whiteboard. Now, if I wanted to, and I apologize for doing this, but I'm going to do this because I want you to see how this works. I can push stuff out to all of you. You don't have the ability to do that to me, but I have the ability to do that to you. So if I click in the gear wheel here, right, and I can, where is it? Why am I not saying, oh, I know why, because I'm not looking at the right place. I apologize. They moved it down here now. I can clear my whiteboard and I can also push my whiteboard out to all students. All right. So now all of you are going to get the same image on your whiteboard that is on my whiteboard. Give it a little bit of time because there's so many of you, right? So now if I look at everybody else's whiteboard, it should begin to switch here. Now I'm seeing it. I'm seeing that same image over and over and over and over and over again because I pushed it out to everybody. Now, how could I use this? I could use this with, of course, math problems is one of the first things that comes to mind. I'm thinking of even, I used to teach first grade and we did a lot of stuff with phonograms and phonics and marking up words and stuff. So I can totally see this, you know, oh, here's the TH and in the word the, let's take a look at that, or where we're underlining it. I see a lot of uses for this. So I can, you know, push things out to you as the teacher. I can also flatten the layers, which is kind of cool that I can do that. So what it does is it kind of puts it down and then I can save it as a PDF. So let's say everybody else is doing these wonderful math problems or everybody's marking the words. I can go in and I can download all of them as a PDF file for myself. Because like I said, this board will close in 2 hours from the time that it is opened. So the time that I first saw the link, I have exactly 2 hours and that's it. It's going to close automatically on its own. But as soon as I leave, it will close as well. So if I leave in 10 minutes, it's closed forever. Nobody can get back into it. It's gone. It's like it's erased, which is another nice feature to have, right? So I'm going to go ahead and clear my whiteboard here. Okay. A lot of tools, like I said, all of these tools were not there before. And I didn't have to sign in or anything. And it does have my room code up here still, kind of like on the Nearpod where it gives you that code on every page. So if I needed to, if I had some kids who maybe came in late to my Google Meet and they're like, how do we get in there? I don't see the link. Because you know, when you go into a Google Meet and you're late, if somebody put in a code or they put in a link, you won't see it because that happened before you entered the Google Meet. So in order to do that again, you say, okay, just, you know, you can click here and get in and here's the code or whatever, and they can get right in. Now let's see what some of these other rooms. I can also lock this room, right? And again, there's the upload. I could hide all of your names if I wanted to. If I had some people in here who are just maybe a little bit shy and they didn't want their name being listed on there, you know, it will allow me to do that as well. And of course, save all whiteboards as a PDF, which is a really cool feature to have, because if I'm going to use this tool, and maybe I skipped over Eric's, I didn't see Eric, this tremendous, awesome work that he did, because I was looking at someone else's. If I save them all as a PDF, that'll give me a chance to go over and really look at them very carefully. So that's a really great option. And that one just happened, like I said, about 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to go ahead and just clear everybody's whiteboard. I apologize again, because I know you're all probably doing something really amazing on there. And I'm going to go back here. And now I see, again, I see everybody's name. I can make those all disappear if I want to. And then nobody would be able to, you wouldn't be able to tell whose board was who. Now, you maybe, if you figured out the pattern that these are all in alphabetical order, that might be something that you could figure out. But if I made the names go away, they would just be it would just be a board there with no name. Now, I would of course see them, but you would not. Okay. Are there any questions about using Whiteboard FI?
We just had something about any special tools that you might need, but really your mouse and your trackpad are all you really need.
Now, I will tell you this, that not only does this work on a computer with the mouse pad and all of that, but it also works on just about any type of mobile device. The first time that I played around with this, I made my kids, I said, come here, you're going to do this with me. And they got on their phones and they were able to draw really nice pictures. Well, of course, they were using their finger because, you know, they have a touch screen. And they're like, Mom, this is like really cool. I'm like, yeah, this is so cool. And then, of course, I erased their boards and they were like, hey, what the heck, Mom? We were just drawing a picture. So, but we were just doing it just as a practice. But so it does work on phones. It works on iPads. It works on any type of tablet, any type of mobile device that you can think of. It will be there. And because it's online, you know, you don't have to worry about downloading any type of software or anything like that. If you were to use, like, let's say an iPad and you wanted a stylus, of course, you could use that, or just using your finger, whatever that you have available to you, it will pick it up. It's a really nice little tool.
Misha, there's a question about changing the text size.
Yes. That you know what? We're gonna take a look at that right now. So if I go to draw text and I click in here, I would assume if I drag my box that's how I thought it might be, and I can also move it anywhere. And because it has a little ball up here, I can move it in any direction that I'd like, even upside down.
And so Whiteboard can be bookmarked, correct?
Oh yes, I would definitely bookmark this one. When I first saw this, I was very excited about it. And when we showed it at one of our other HE sessions that we had a big Jamboard person in there that was doing all kinds of training at the campus for Jamboard. And when this particular person saw this software, they're like, oh my goodness, we're using this. This is way easier. And it's and our kids have access to this. Because, well, we'll get into that in a little bit. There are some caveats with the new Google Jamboard that we all have access to. Are there any other questions about using Whiteboard FI? If I were you, definitely bookmark this. And there's going to be some time, I believe, at the end, because looking at whiteboards, I'm going to show you where these all are. And then I'm going to want you to go in and practice with these and creating your class and all that. I mean, this is super, super easy. It took me like, I don't know, 5 seconds to get there and to click on and make a new class. And again, we have all of these people in here. Look at this.
Yes.
I mean, this is awesome.
Somebody was asking about Toggle Teacher Whiteboard. So
yes,
what is the toggle?
Yes. So up at the top, I have my class. And right now I'm seeing everybody's whiteboard that's in the class. If I click on my whiteboard, it's going to take me back to my whiteboard that I am working on. So this is how I would show it inside of in my Google Meet with my students. I would maybe model first here and then ask my class to do it. Or I could push out what I'm doing, like what I did earlier, where I go under actions and I push my whiteboard out to everybody. Okay, I can do that as well. And again, if I up here in the gear wheel, this is where I can clear all the whiteboards at the same time. And that's a really great attention getter. As we know, everybody's working and all of a sudden everything goes blank. You're like, hey, what happened? And oh, my teacher's talking to me. I guess I better listen. So there's some great ways that you can get everybody back on track and kind of pull everybody back into you. So I really, really like this app. Are there any other questions?
There was a question about sharing it on a Google Classroom. And I replied that yes, you can share it in a Google Classroom, but remember it does expire in 2 hours. Is that correct,
Yes.
Jim?
Yes. Yes. So if if you're like me, I like to plan out my lessons at Sunday night, and I'm thinking about the week, and I want to get my Google Classroom ready for the week. And on Thursday, we're going to be doing a whiteboard FI activity. I don't want to open it right now. I don't want to put that link out because it's going to expire in 2 hours. As soon as it gives me the link, that's when my 2 hours starts. So how I would do it is I'd make sure that everybody was either in the Google Meet or in the classroom, and I say, okay, I just posted it, because you can you can schedule it to go live on Thursday, but guess what? That link won't be there for you, because as soon as that link is created, that's when your 2 hours starts. So you want to go into the classroom, set it up. I would set it up right then and there when we're ready to use it. Say, everybody go into Google Classroom, get it, because they're going to have to be on a device anyway to use this application, which means that they're going to be able to have access to their Google Classroom. So I know that's always like a question. Well, what if they don't have a device? And if this is something that you're expecting them to use, Google Classroom or something else, I mean, they're going to have a device to do with it, whether it be a phone, a tablet, whatever it may be. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, I think you did.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this room down, and this is what you want to do at the end. Just like you would for your Google Meet and everything else, you want to lock that door. So when I close the room down, you're going to get a message that says it's no longer open, and then that's it. It's over. And again, if this was for a grade, I would definitely want to save all the whiteboards as a PDF, and it will download onto your device, and then you'll have that PDF document that you can go back and check. So I'm going to go ahead and close the room. All right, there we go. Thank you for using Whiteboard. All right, our room was successfully closed. And I'm sure you all got that message that said, oh, it's been closed, right? All right. All right, I'm going to go back to the Meet. Actually, I'm going to go to my mail, because we're going to take a look at Microsoft Whiteboard. Now, Microsoft has a whiteboard too, and guess what? Because we have the Microsoft 365, Office 365, we have access to this whiteboard, and I will show you where it is located and how you can get it. And like I said, I am going to give you some time to play with these, because yeah, it's great that we're showing all this stuff, but you need time to actually go in and just fiddle around with it a little bit. And so I'm going to go into my mail, and I'm going to share this tab here. And I apologize, this is my mail. I've got tons of it. And I'm going to go over here. The Google Apps Launcher is over on the right side, and the Microsoft Apps Launcher is on the left side. I'm going to go to these 9 little squares, click on it, and here's my apps. Now, Whiteboard is right here. I have Whiteboard there. I had to actually add it to my apps here. And how did I do that? If you go click here where it says all apps, if you don't see Whiteboard there, these are, they were at one time, they should be in alphabetical order. Okay, and you just find Whiteboard, and then you can go ahead and click on it. And then it should put it into your apps for you, because it's something that you've used before. Now, it is kind of logging me in. I was in here a couple of days ago, but I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to click on New One. It's going to load my Whiteboard. Okay. Now, this one isn't as robust as the Whiteboard FI. You've got just some choices here of some markers to choose from. I can write. And then when I go to erase, this is the one that will take away the entire line. So, but I do have kind of like a pretty big space in here. It's not kind of limited, where the Whiteboard FI, you have borders on your whiteboard. When you get to the end of it, that's it. I mean, you can't continue to write. This one kind of expands as you're writing, which is kind of a nice feature. Up here at the top, there's a little man with a plus sign, and of course that is a share, right? So I can invite you by email, or I can create a sharing link. Now, this one does not expire. This is the difference between this one and the Whiteboard FI. If I click on the link here to share out the link, come on, it's going to give me a link here, and I can copy it and I can put it somewhere. I don't know how many people can be into a whiteboard, but I think, yeah, I think we should try it. What do you think, Rebecca? You think we should try to break it?
Limits.
I say let's break it. Let's break it. Why not? We're feeling very adventurous today. So I'm going to go ahead and break it. Do it. Yes. Okay. So if you'll click on that, it should open up the whiteboard for you.
Will you copy and paste that into? Oh, there it is.
Yes, I put it into the chat.
Yes, I'll go ahead and I'm going to copy it. I will be adding it here just in case
I like and make some eyes and a nose, mouth. Here we go. I got. See if we have some other people in here. I don't know how many people we have in here right now, but you will notice that this is a collaborative board that we are all working on together. Now, you notice that I can create a number of boards at the same time. So I'm thinking if I'm using Google Classroom that I might have 4 or 5 kids that are working together, and I might have all of those different boards available and send out the links through Google Classroom. And of course, we are not going to give that assignment to everybody. We'll give it to 4 or 5 kids at a time. And then that way we would have different boards for different folks, right? But look at that. That's amazing. I don't know if we're going to break this or not, but we will give it a try here. So we'll see how we're doing. Under the settings here, this is just settings for basically the entire suite. So there's not any specific settings for this whiteboard. This whiteboard's pretty basic. Again, if you go into your eraser and you try to erase something, it erases an entire line that you have created. So if you've clicked and you've moved your mouse around and you've added a line, wherever it is that you unclick the mouse, that is where that line will end. And that is where that line will be removed from. So when I first saw this one, I thought this one was pretty cool. But then again, I compared this to Whiteboard FI, and I'm more privy to that one. But I don't want to sway you all in any way. I want you to try them out and see which one that you like the best. This one does have a larger area. Like I said, it seems that it kind of expands as more people come in and add stuff to it. So it's very colorful. I do like that. I do like that. Are there any questions about using the whiteboard app that is in Microsoft? Again, I'm going to go back to where it says My Whiteboards. I'm just going to leave this one open for now for you.
So it's they're asking, does it identify who's on it with you?
You know what? I'm not really sure. I didn't see any names popping up as I was in there. Let me click back into the board, and I'm gonna see if it's giving me names. I don't remember seeing names when you and I did this, Rebecca, a couple of months ago when we were looking at it. But I don't remember if it gave us names. But that is a good question. You know why it's taken longer than expected? It's because we have so many people on this board, and that's great. Like I said, I want to see if we can break stuff. So that way we can tell people we're sorry. And you notice that now how you see how the board increased in size. And let me see if I click here. Is it going to tell me? You know what? Are you seeing anything on your end? Because I'm not seeing anything.
No, but there is a question about adding text to it. And I don't remember.
As far as I know, the only thing that you can do is just draw on it. There's no text up here, as you can see. It's just a marker, and it has 4 colors and a pencil, which really serves as the eraser. Like I said, this is super basic, but it is collaborative. So that you know, if you look at the two, Whiteboard FI, everybody gets their own board and teachers can push things out. This one, you can have a large number of people working on one board at a time. So only thing is it does make me a little sad that I cannot tell who did what. I would have to have people write their names, I guess, if it was something, if we were doing like a thinking map, or I would want to know who did what, but that's me. So again, it's up to you as you're looking at these two. This one does expand. I do like that. It expands out. So you can, with all of these people that we have in here, it will continue to grow bigger as as we need more space. So any other questions about using the Microsoft Whiteboard app? And I want you to notice how well this is showing up in the Google Meet as well. So again, I can show things out there. Is there a question?
There's a suggestion that
Yes.
you can use it with small groups, and
Absolutely.
each person can be assigned a color. So
There you go. That would be something. That would be something. Yeah. I mean, we all know our kids better than anybody. What's going to work for one person may not work for somebody else, but that's why I was saying within a Google Classroom, because I have the ability as the teacher to make several different boards. So I would make one for my different groups, and then group my kids, and then let them go to one board instead of a big free for all like what we have in here. But I'm excited to say that with all the people that we have working off of this board, that we didn't break it. So I think we might have come pretty close, but we did not break it. So I'm going to go back out here just to show you those boards again. And I want to say it only lets you, I don't remember how many boards it'll allow you to create, but you can just keep, with a classroom, I would think, I know I've had as many as 6 boards in here. That was as many as I created. I didn't try to create any more than that. So, but my assumption is that you can create more than that. And of course, anytime that you see 3 dots, especially in Google, but in Microsoft as well, that means there's something in there, mostly something awesome in there. So if I click in here, this is again where I can invite participants. I can delete, and of course I can actually give my my whiteboard a title. So this might be, George's group, and then this one might be, Alex's group, whatever it might be. So that way I know which board I'm looking at for which group. And then there's the delete there as well, that if I need to delete, and this one I did create yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that board. And you see how hard it is to delete a board. Wow, that didn't take very long at all. And again, to create a new board, you just click on the plus sign, and then away you go. To get that link, you click on the little man that's right up here. You don't see him here because we're not where we can click on him, but that's a little share. Anytime you see a little man with a plus sign, that usually means share, no matter what type of application that you're in. And then it'll give you that link, and you can put it into Google Classroom. You can put it with this link. This is not going to expire in 2 hours like the Whiteboard FI. This one can stay open for probably as long as you have that board available, which is kind of a nice thing as well, especially if it's something that maybe it's going to be somewhere where you have kids writing notes down, and they're in there quite often doing that. So just something to think about. Any other questions there, Rebecca? Are we good? Because I'm not on that screen. I'm on this screen. So
no, we're good. Everything I think we answered everybody's question. Okay. I think it's great for brainstorming for kids. So
yeah, like I said, making thinking maps. We have those prefabricated thinking maps that look so pretty, and we give them to kids. And what happens with those bubbles? What happens a lot of times with those bubbles? They end up writing over the top of them because they're too small. So in this instance, yes, it might be tricky for some of the kids to write, but this is also going to help with their fine motor skills for them to write. And then they can put the circle or the box or whatever it is, whatever shape that they're going to use around their thoughts and their brainstorming ideas. So like I said, just another way to get kids to collaborate and get kids to use Whiteboard online.
Misha, do you happen to know if co-writer can be used with this?
You know what? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you that co-writer, since it's more of a Google product and this is more of a Microsoft product, I would think that the two would actually, we'd have some Wonder Twin powers activate if they were like using like the new Microsoft Chrome Edge browser that has just come out recently. Those two might work together. I don't know, but I will do everything I can to find out for you. I don't want to say one way or the other. And then, oh, Misha said that they would work together, or she said that they wouldn't work together, because I don't know the answer to that question. I did not try it with Co-Writer, but I definitely will. Or if you have the option to try it out, try it out while you can. I think Co-Writer is mostly with just text.
That's
And
what
this one, yeah, this one doesn't use text, like, it's just writing. I don't know that it would be able to recognize the writing. Some programs can do that, but not all of them.
Yeah, and I don't think I saw anything that would let you know that it
Yeah,
was.
I'm not sure on that one.
I do have something here. Can you record yourself using the whiteboard for math or something? And so I'm responding that they could use something like Screencastify to record their drawing on their.
And right now, we do have the recording capabilities here in Google Meet until September. There are rumors that it might go longer, but right now they're just rumors, and rumors have a tendency sometimes that you hear it, you get excited, and then it just kind of fades away. So I'm not really sure if we're going to continue to have that, but we do have the recording ability here in Google Meet through the end of September. Like you were saying, Screencastify is another great way that we can record our screen, and then you would have that entire screen, because when you do one with Google Meet, of course, you're recording yourself and you're recording what you are presenting. And if you want to get a real close-up of that whiteboard, yeah, I would definitely use like Screencastify to do that. It's 5 minutes worth of recording, but you know what? Video shouldn't be really longer than that anyway. We all have a tendency to tune out after so long. I hope you're all not tuning out right now.
There's another question about adding your image or picture to a slide or Nearpod or anything like that.
So if I download it as a PDF, it's not an image. So you're going to need something that would convert a PDF into an image. Now, if you are on a Mac, one of the things that you can use is the preview tool that is on a Mac. If you are on a PC, I believe there are some online converters that are out there, and I don't have like a list of all of them because there are lots of them, and some of them work better than others. I have tried out many different PDF converters and I don't have like a favorite. I just kind of pick one when I need it. I don't need that often because I have preview on my computer. So I usually use that for myself, but I do know that there are some online converters, and if you just, I hate to say this, but if you just Google it, a list will come up, and then like I said, some of them are better than others. And I tend to stay away from the ones that ask for my email address or that want some kind of personal information about me, because it's like, all I want to do is convert a PDF. That's all I want to do. Convert it to an image. Can you help me? Also, if you were to download that PDF, you can also take a screenshot of it. That would be another really easy way to do that. And you can do that both on Macs and on PCs. And then you would have that screenshot that is an image that then you could put into a Nearpod or Google Slides or wherever it is that you would like to put an image. I hope I answered your question.
I think so.
All right. Well, we're at 3:05 already. It seems like the time is just flying. So I do want to give you some time at the end to go in and play. And if you have questions, of course, we want to try to answer those for you. But we do have one more application to look at today, and that is Jamboard. And you might have heard about it at your campus because, we've just recently got access to it. We've pushed it out to all of the teachers, and that is as far as it's going to go at this time. TIS is the one that makes the decisions on what gets pushed out to students and what gets pushed out to teachers, and then they tell us what they want us to push out if it's something that's going through Google. And Jamboard is for teachers. So if I want to use Jamboard with my students, they're only going to be able to view it as you are viewing me and viewing my screen, which I'm just presenting what's here on this Google Meet. but I'm going to go to a new tab and show you where you can find Jamboard. And again, it's just another digital whiteboard, just like the past two that we've looked at. It's got things that, you know, they all have their pros and their cons. And you just have to pick which one is going to work best for you, and what kind of engagement do you want for your students, or what do you want to use it for. So I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to share this screen right here, and I'm going to go to the apps launcher. This is the Google apps launcher because it's on the right side, and I'm going to scroll down. And at the bottom is my Jamboard. So I'm going to click on Jamboard. And it kind of takes you to a Jamboard site. Now, I did create a Jamboard and I deleted it a couple of days ago. But in order to create a new one, of course, I'm going to click the plus button. So I click the plus button. And now it should open up a new Jamboard for me. Now, what's kind of nice about Jamboard is it's almost like there's slides. Okay, so I have the ability to write here, and then I can go forward and write on another slide and forward. And this reminds me of our interactive whiteboards or interactive displays that we have at the campuses, where they have the whiteboard app that's in there, and you can have additional like whiteboards, and you can have many of them in a row, right? That's what this kind of reminds me of. Over here on the left side, I have the ability to write. Okay, one of the really cool things that I like about Jamboard is that I can click background, and I can click where these are dots. They might be hard to see on the little screen there. We've got lined paper, right? Like notebook paper. We've got grid graph paper. For those people doing Minecraft out there, you want to start with graph paper. And a darker graph paper in the event that you might have somebody who is not able to see. You know, sometimes it depends on the how dark it is or how light it is for some of our students. So they do offer two different types of graph paper. I can also click the blue, and then I would change the color of my marker to white. And so now I can write on the board using white on a blue board. And of course, that's also a blackboard. Reminds me from way back in the day when I first started teaching. Yeah, it's been that long. And I can also write with the white. There looks like the old chalk that we used to use. I can erase, and this one will erase just parts of my line, just like the Whiteboard FI, where the Microsoft one, it'll erase the entire line. I can add a sticky note to this particular slide. So let's say I want to add something. You know, don't forget, you need to write this down. I can put a little sticky note. I can choose the color of my sticky note. It's put on there. I can also add an image. Now, what's really cool about the images here is I can do a Google image search. And of course, if you've been to any of my trainings, you know what I always search for. Oh my goodness, sorry about that, everybody. I'm going to click my favorite one, Mr. Bruce, and we're going to put him right in there. And now I could actually go in here and label him if I wanted to. I have the ability to do this on every slide. So if I wanted to go to a new slide, now here I'm on like a slide 2. It's kind of like a Google slide in a way, and now I have the ability to do that again. I'm going to go back to this slide for just a second because this one's kind of cool too. So this, say if I want to talk about this eye right here, you see it's like a little laser pointer. It doesn't stay on, but it does highlight. Here's his great big mouth. Here is one of his pectoral fins. So I can actually highlight certain parts of this. So it's almost like a presentation that I have the ability to annotate over. So there are some pretty cool features about this. If I don't want all of this in the frame anymore, then of course I can clear the frame and everything is gone, and I can just change the background. I do have that ability. Now, where it says open on a Jamboard, that is a button you want to stay away from because that is the paid version of Jamboard. We are using the free version of Jamboard, and we don't have any Jamboards. It is actually a piece of equipment that Google does sell that is kind of like an interactive display, but it will not work with our interactive displays as far as using it through this Jamboard button. I can display anything that of course I have on the screen on an interactive display. I just need to stay away from this button right here. Okay. I happen to see something up here, and that's 3 dots. And of course, that means something awesome in there. So I can rename it. I can download it as a PDF, just like I can on the other applications. I can save this one frame as an image. Now, this is what somebody was asking about earlier. If you don't want to have to go through the whole PDF to image thing, you can do it right here in this Jamboard. I can remove. I can also make a copy of this, right? Which is kind of nice. And of course, if there's any updates. And if I wanted to share this Jamboard out with my students, of course I can. But again, they don't have access to Jamboard. I don't know if they have the ability to even write on a Jamboard since they don't have access to it. My guess is they're going to say, hey, you got this link, and they're going to click on it, and it's going to say you have been denied access, like a lot of things are denied access to. So basically, that's the only person that you can share this with are other teachers, administrators, anybody who works in the district who is not a student. If you're listed as a student, you will not have access to this. And I'm sorry, because it does have a lot of great features, but that's what TIS says, and that's the way it goes with Google, and I apologize. Are there questions? We've got just roughly around 15 minutes left, and I want to give you time to get in here and play.
Well, I don't see any questions here. I think you've answered everything for everyone, Misha.
Okay. Please take some time while you're here, because something may come up and you may have a question. Not that I have the answer to it, but I will certainly try to answer anything that you have. But I want you to test out Whiteboard FI. Get with a partner. If there's somebody in here that you know, share out the link. Play around with it. Get into Jamboard. Share it out with one of your colleagues. Same thing with the Microsoft Whiteboard. See where the limitations are. See which one you like the best, and then we'll be putting the link in here as well for the badges at the end. We're going to do that probably in about 6 or 7 minutes. I want to give everybody time to get in here and play a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting, and so I can get back into the meet here to see if there's questions, comments. I see. Awesome. Yes.
Okay. Will we see the link to the recording? No, you won't put a link to the recording.
Here we won't. The recording doesn't usually appear for about 10 minutes after we finish, and once that happens, I have to actually render the video and put it up on YouTube. That's where it's going to be, on our Innovative Learning YouTube channel.
I'm going to insert that link right down at the bottom.
Yes. And Ms. Shelley Smallwood, our director, has asked that we email all of you to let you know when these will be available, so that way you can go in, if you so wish, to watch this again, and to review it or to share it out with your colleagues, whatever. We'll be sending it out to you hopefully within the next couple of days. And I'm going to.
Kamala says thank you.
All right, but please, you still have, like I said, 15 minutes. So please take the time and go in and just see how easy it is to set up a class. See how easy it is to set up a board. Which one is going to work for you? That's the important thing. And it's not important, for me, because I know what I like. But what's going to work for you and your students? You need to be thinking about your kids. What do they have at home to do this? And not to say that they're going to be at home forever, but it's already seemed like forever, hasn't it? It's only been 3 months, but it sure seems like it's been forever since we've even really seen each other. Rebecca, I've seen your image on our meet all the time, but I don't even know if we're going to be able to give each other a hug. I think we're going to have to do like an elbow bump or something.
I know. It's like you only know that I have a head.
Basically, yeah. We're all wearing, I think, pajamas to work every day. No, we're not. We're really not. We joke about it, but no, we're not.
No, we're not.
And I've just put the link for your batch. Let's see, I have not been able to find the Mini Monday videos from last week. Yes, and that is because I was going to do them all last week, but we were in the meet all day, and I had training almost every single day last week, so I wasn't able to do it because it takes so long to render them when I'm doing a meet or when I'm doing other things, because it's very memory intensive. And then I thought, okay, I will try to do it this weekend. Well, then this weekend I was working on all kinds of other things as well, and so I did not have a chance. But this evening, that is my goal, is to get as many of our mini Monday sessions up to our innovative learning YouTube site. And I promise to do my best to get some of them up. I hope to get all of them up, but I don't want to say that I'm going to get all of them up and then not be able to do that for you.
No,
But I will try.
Just keep going to our link right up here. I
Yes.
just shared it with you. I'll share it again. But just keep going to the link and,
Yes.
and checking to see if there's any new content. And, you know, as soon as, you know, once it's uploaded, that's the hard part. That's the time intensive part, is just having your computer doing nothing but uploading a video to YouTube. And today has been kind of a crazy day for internet and cell phones, apparently.
Yes.
So get ready. I don't know what the day has in store for us, but we're almost through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And of course, if you run into any type of issues or you just want to come in and say hi, we do have a virtual office, and we are set up from 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Thursday during our summer time. Where there is somebody in there all day, and usually it's a number of us if we're not training. You know, a few heads are better than one when it comes to trying to answer or solve problems, as we've all found out. So, and I think Rebecca just put it into the meet for us. And if you have questions about your computer, you have questions about an application, and how do I get this to work for my kids, or whatever it may be. Maybe you just want to come in and find out a good place that's open that you can go eat. I mean, maybe we can even offer that as well. I don't know.
But you know what? I was going to say, sometimes it really helps to come into our meet if you're trying out a new program or a new app and you're not sure how it works because you have to work it with other people. It's a great time to come in and we'll help you figure it out. Somebody was saying, they want to know how to record on Google Meets. And, you know, you know, the
yes.
3 dots.
When you want to record on Google Meets, yes, the 3 dots. There's always something awesome in the 3 dots. So when you're down at the bottom dock, and when you kind of go put your mouse down, that little bar will come up, and then there's those 3 awesome dots. And I know you can't see my screen because I'm not presenting, I don't think. But when you click on those 3 dots at the very top, it says start recording. Now, everybody in here has the ability to click on the start recording, but guess what? It only goes to one place, and that's whoever owns the meet. And who owns this meet, Becky? I think that
I own this meet.
You.
This is my meet, people.
So, and that's why we went into Becky's meet, because she's the one who will get the recording, and she's my moderator, so she can, you know, mute people and unmute people. I don't have the ability to do that because I am not the meet owner, and it's hard for me to do both of those things, to do that as well as present. So.
There's a person, Lorena Ponce, is asking, she can't find her Jamboard in her apps, and does she need to?
So one of the things we can look at what campus that you're from to make sure that your campus has that ability. Well, I thought we've given everybody access to Jamboard, but what you can do too is when you go to the apps launcher in the top right corner, those 9 little squares, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you should see more apps, and it should be there. It should be at the very, very bottom. But if you do not see it, please email me, and we will check your status. We will check your campus, and I will send an email back to you that says that I've checked it and that it's that you should be good to go. Because every once in a while we have a teacher that gets put into the wrong group somehow. You know, we want to say that computers are great, and they are, but you know, just like they're made by imperfect people, so not all the time are they going to be 100% just perfect.
So somebody was asking for phone numbers. I'm going to go ahead and put mine. Not that I know mine.
You can put our extensions and if GoToConnect is actually working, which sometimes it works and sometimes it does not work so well.
It's finicky.
Yes, it is. It decides, and I know that they have been having network issues over there today because it's been going off and on today. It says it's connected, and it says it's not been connected. So I know that they're having issues over there.
What's your extension, Alicia?
I am 40688.
Okay. I don't even know my own. I have to look it up every time.
That's okay. It took me quite a while to figure mine out too.
Yes. So I don't see any other questions. Remember, we do have office hours from 7:30 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening, Monday through Thursday. So we're on a really long schedule right now.
Yes.
Working long days. Lots of thank yous.
Good.
Lots of
I hope this was helpful to you. I hope this is something that you can use with your students. I know we don't have students. Some of you don't have students tomorrow, but hopefully this will be something you can just turn right around and start using.
Yes. So I think that those three whiteboards that you shared are great because now people have choices and you kind of figure out which one is your best one, which one you feel most comfortable using. And so somebody is saying that they lost connection during the second whiteboard option. What was it?
The second whiteboard that we showed was the Microsoft whiteboard. I can actually present my screen again.
And don't forget, these videos will be posted in our Innovative Learning YouTube one day, ladies and gentlemen, one day.
Okay, and this is Microsoft Whiteboard. And to get to Microsoft Whiteboard, when you go to my.yc.net and you click on the mail, you'll notice up in the top left, you have those 9 squares. And when you click there, you may or may not see it down here where it says whiteboard. So you click on all apps and then they are in alphabetical order. You find it and then you can click on it there. And once you do, this will pop up and you can click a new whiteboard right here, click, and it'll open up a new whiteboard. And the whiteboard is very basic. There's no typing in it. It's just drawing. But it's, the collaboration feature of it. I'm actually going to go back out here so I can show you the whiteboard that everybody else was working on. And that's this one right here. Look at it. We tried to break it. We weren't able to. So
not yet.
Which is good. Which is good. Yeah. I mean, but we could have broken the internet too, and that wouldn't have been good.
Well, we almost did because I've heard a lot of problems today with the internet.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. And I'm looking at my sheet that's showing me who's getting their badges, and it's kind of halting. So I'm kind of wondering if some people might be getting a couple of badges on this one, and I apologize. I think it's just something's going on with our network today. And see, this one's taking longer to open. It's because there's lots of stuff on it, and I'm wondering if we're having like another glitch.
Post the badge link.
Yes, I posted it. Yes, in here. I can post it in here again. Hopefully I still have it on there. Yes, I do. There we go.
Okay.
I just posted it again.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So let me go back to it's still loading.
Yeah.
It's still loading up. Anyway, we had, how many people do we have in here? It was about 65?
It's 65 right now. We were at 76 earlier.
Okay, 70. We had 76 people in here, and pretty much everybody was in there writing on it. And I think that's why it's taking so long to load. But anyway, you've just got your basic pens. You've got 4 different colors, and you have an eraser, and the erase actually will erase an entire line, not just portions of it. And that's the extent of writing, appears where you share it out. You share a link, you get the link, you put the link into your Google Classroom. It will not close like the Whiteboard FI does. That closes in 2 hours. This is open as long as you have that whiteboard. So I'll go ahead and stop presenting. Just a little recap there.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Lots of thank yous and great jobs. I think people are really, really enjoying these 1-hour sessions. I think it's
they are so popular. I mean, they fill up like in minutes, and
waiting lists for every session.
Yes, yeah. I get emails. Oh, you know what? I'm on the waiting list. Are you going to have another session? And we are trying, but there's only about 3 of us that are doing these training sessions, and we also have other training sessions that we're working on, the HE sessions that also are full to the max. And and then we also have other things that we need to be working on to get ready as the year is right in front of us, the next school year. So yes.